Hi everyone, my name is Sumbal Mushtaq and I'm a visual artist and art educator, and today I'm going to teach you how to do monoprinting with plexiglass. So I have a piece of plexiglass. It's a transparent plexiglass that you can easily get from either Home Depot, or you can order this online from Amazon or other places, and you can order the piece of plexiglass according to the measurement that you want to have. So here I have a piece of plexiglass, and today we are going to do two different techniques for monoprinting. First technique, I'm going to show you how to paint on plexiglass and take the impression, and in other technique I'm going to show you how to reduct the paint on the plexiglass to take the impression or to create the image that you want to create. So apart from the plexiglass, I have some other material with me. Set of this is a student quality printing ink, it's Aqua Intaglio printing ink, and they are also available on Amazon or other art supply store. And I have like different colors, like I have all the basic color like yellow, blue, red, black and white. Then I have these paintbrush of different thicknesses that you can use to draw your image with the inks. I'm going to use a disposable plate as my palette to take out the inks. Then I also have a separate piece of plexiglass that I'm going to use to roll the inks. I have a roller, and there are different thicknesses for the roller available in the market, and you can get the one that is it's 3 to 4 inches long. Then to wipe the inks from the plexiglass, I have cotton buds with me, and to wipe the wider areas, I also have kitchen towels, or you can either use kitchen towel or tissue paper. And I have spoons, and these spoons, we are going to use the spoons to take out the ink from the container. And then we are also going to use the spoons to burnish the surface of the paper to take the impressions. Since we are working without press, so we need something to produce a pressure at the back of the paper to take the print. And in the end, to clean everything, we need vegetable oil. If you don't have plexiglass at your home, there are other things that you can use. You can use a piece of glass, like clear glass, to draw image that you want to. Then if you don't have, normally we don't have printing inks at our home. If you don't have the printing inks, you can also use oil paints. You can remove oil paints with the same, I guess you can easily remove oil paints or clean oil paints with the vegetable oil. I have paper. So the paper that I have is a normal drawing paper that you can have. You can use any type of paper, but since we are using spoons to take the print, we are going to burnish the surface of the paper to take the impression. So the paper shouldn't be thick, it should be like thin paper. I guess thin drawing sheets are perfect to do monoprinting. First, I'm going to start with the technique that I'm going to draw with the help of brushes that I have, and then we're going to move to the other printing technique. Okay, so I'm going to take out the ink that I'm going to use to paint the image that I want to paint. And for each color, you need to use a different spoon. And one more thing, you can always take out more ink, but do not take out ink that you don't need, because once the ink will dry, you won't be able to use it again. Make sure to mix the ink properly before you take out. So now I'm going to draw my image on plexiglass with the help of brushes I have. And the brushes that I have, they are actually student quality oil paint brushes. Either you can use oil paint brushes or you can also use watercolor brushes. But since the watercolor brushes are more fragile, you need to clean them instantly after using printing inks. Going to use the wider brush to draw to paint the petals. Make sure to use paint a little bit thicker, because if the paint is going to be thinner, it will dry quickly and you won't be able to get the result that you want to get. To reuse the same brush, you can clean the brush with paper towel and use with another color. Don't take too long to paint your image, otherwise the inks will get dry and you won't be able to get the desired result. Okay, so now I'm going to place my paper at the top of my image, or at the top of the image that I have created on plexiglass. Since my plate is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to see from which portion I want my image to be, or my print to be on the paper. So I want it to be exactly in the center. Okay. After placing my paper on the image that I have painted with the ink, I'm going to rub the back of the paper so my paper will stick with the inks. And now I'm going to burnish the back of my paper, and the burnishing will create a pressure, and this pressure will help me to take the impression. And to make sure what type of print that you will have, you need to lift the paper from one side and see. So this is our final print. And there's one more thing. Since I apply the ink a little bit thicker, so the inks on the print, they are very thick and the colors are pretty prominent. But I still have some inks and I still have image on my plexiglass. So I'm going to take another print, and this print is called a ghost print. So I'm going to take one print. So I already took the main print, and now I'm going to take the ghost print of the same image that I created. And this time I need to burnish or rub the back of my paper with more pressure, because we don't have much ink left on the plexiglass. This is the ghost print. Okay, now we can take a break. So now we are going to work on another method of taking monoprints, and in this method, instead of applying paint on the plexiglass and taking impression or print, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the ink on the plexiglass, and I'm going to take off or wipe the ink to create values. And this technique is called reductive monotype. So in reductive monotype, as I already mentioned, that I need a roller because I'm going to spread or apply the ink on the roller on the plate, and then I'm going to wipe off the ink to get values. Okay, so for applying ink on your plexiglass, what you need a flat surface. What I have here is another piece of plexiglass that I'm using as a palette. So this is my palette, and first I'm going to roll the ink on my palette, and then I'm going to roll this ink, or I'm going to spread the ink evenly on the plexiglass that I have. The purpose of having, I can take the ink directly and apply or spread the ink directly on the plate that I'm working on, but the purpose of having another plate and using as a palette is to have an equal amount of ink on the roller. And as I have mentioned that I'm going to, since we are using the burnishing method to take the prints, I'm going to apply a thicker layer of ink on my plate, on my plexiglass. Since the paper that I have is smaller than the size of the plexiglass that I have, so I'm going to leave the corners. For this technique, I have selected a portrait, and I already have a reference in my phone, and I'm going to use that reference to draw a portrait. have cotton buds here that I will use to wipe off the ink from the plexiglass to create values. It's like sketching, but the only difference is like here you have cotton buds that you're using instead of graphite or any other medium. The Q-tips will have a very fine tip that would help you to draw the details. As I have mentioned that I have a kitchen towel with me, and you can also use like a rag to wipe off the wider areas. But for delicate details, for smaller areas, I'm going to use the Q-tips. You can also use the back of your brush to draw lines. For instance, if you want to draw hairs, think it's ready now. So I'm going to take a piece of paper and I'm going to print my image by placing the paper at the top of my image or drawing. make sure you burnish all the areas of the paper that you have to get the entire image. Let's see now. This is our final version. And we still have some ink left on our plate. And if you want to do another ghost print, I can take another ghost print, but the ink that I have on the plate is not much. So we won't be able to get a good ghost print. It's going to be too light. So this is the image. This is the final print that I have. Okay. So as you can see that I intentionally didn't rub I intentionally didn't burnish the corners of the paper, because I want to have this kind of like unfilled impression. Make sure that you apply enough ink on the plexiglass or on the surface that you're using to take the monoprint, because once you will take off the ink and once you will draw your image on the plexiglass, it will take you some time. And if you will apply a very thinner layer, your ink probably dry faster and you won't be able to get a good print or get a good result.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm going to show, after printing, I'm going to show you how to clean your plexiglass, because you can use the same plexiglass several times for taking like 1,000 prints. And after using roller, you also need to clean roller as well, because if this ink will get dry on the roller, you probably not be able to use it again. Okay, so as I have mentioned earlier, that we are going to use vegetable oil to clean everything that we have used. So the inks that I have used, they are not water-based inks, so they won't be cleaned with water. So that's why I'm going to use vegetable oil to clean the palette and the spoons as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little bit of vegetable oil, and with the help of a kitchen towel, I will clean the rest of the ink, leftover ink that I have on my plexiglass, because I want my plexiglass to be completely clean so I could use it further. Completely clean my plexiglass that I was using, and now I can use that for taking other prints. To clean the roller, I'm going to put some vegetable oil on the palette, and I'm going to roll the roller with the vegetable oil. If you're using oil paint, you can use the same, because oil paints are also oil based, so you can use the vegetable oil to clean oil paints as well. After cleaning your spoons with the kitchen towel or rag, you can wash them or put them in the dishwasher. Okay, to clean your brushes, you can soak the brushes in the vegetable oil for some time, and then you can wipe the extra oil. Then you can clean your brushes, and then you can clean the brushes. After cleaning the brushes with vegetable oil, you can clean the brushes with either hand wash or a soap. Thank you so much for being with me, and I hope you enjoy learning this new technique, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna try it at your home.